I've been looking at it in a Word document for about 6 months. Because he originally wrote it in a Word document. That was like his draft, and he was sending that over, and I was editing like the book within the Word document. But yeah, actually getting the physical copy is like pretty cool. Obviously, anyone can open a Word document and start typing, but actually seeing it in an actual book, like physical book that looks like a real book.
You get that smell as well, don't you? With the paper as well.
No, it's awesome. Like seeing it in like a physical form just made it like feel really real. I think called it an early reader cohort, and he was sending it in sections to the early reader cohort, and he was sending us about 10 chapters at a time, and we had to read them, and then you had a Google form, and you gave him feedback, and then he made edits based on the feedback that the early reader cohort gave him, which I enjoyed because it meant I just got to send him loads of feedback. This is rubbish, change this,
rip it apart.
No, he was super open to the feedback, and he said the feedback that he's received has made the book just infinitely better. Because when you're coming at it from like your perspective, that's one perspective. Having lots of different perspectives makes the book like it's the best it can like physically be.
I guess you get someone else's opinion, and it's just like I don't think of that at all. Like,
Because the way he writes as well is quite fun, it's quite engaging. He uses lots of sort of references. And whilst it's a reference that maybe Phil understands, it might not be a reference that other people understand, like memes that just go straight over their head. Exactly. I think one reference that got cut was I think it's a Barry from EastEnders reference. And I thought, is anyone else going to understand who Barry from EastEnders is? Probably not.
If you've watched extras or
Gonna do it anyway. Big question.
Questions.
Where do you start with that one? I think Phil is an incredibly personable person, just generally. So I feel like this is the perfect book for him because it really syncs with his sort of sensibilities, and it also syncs with where the market is at the moment as well. I think with the sort of the oversaturation of ads and the oversaturation potential of AI, which is going to increase as well, and how like dehuman some of that can be. This is the perfect antidote for that. I think that's why it's going to work, because it's the direction of the market at the moment where it's going, and people are already going in that route anyway. It just needed someone with Phil's experience to solidify that and bring his experience from being an agency owner into an actual theory, a framework, a methodology, whatever you want to call it, which other people can use, because it's been quite organic in the sense of people have been going in that direction but maybe not realising they're going in that direction. But Phil's book explains probably why they're going in that direction, why it is working as well. So I think it's definitely the way things are going. And now we've got like an actual like methodology framework that Phil's put together. I think it's just going to accelerate and get faster and faster, more people to use it. And I think it's the future. You can make things overcomplicated, but if you boil marketing down, it's essentially some humans talking to other humans, and you can get very bogged down in the data and the tech side of things, and if you're that way inclined, but at the end of the day it's about a human connecting with another human, trying to
bring stuff,
bring their attention to something that may bring value to them, and sell them stuff.
I think previous roles I've had have been very data heavy. I think the businesses that I've worked before have been like big sort of corporations where, it's all about hitting that target and hitting that number. And it's very much like you have like your customer personas and things like that, but it's very much like, well, but who is that person? It's just like a made up name, and not everyone, if you're looking at something like postcode data, for example, not everyone on that street and road is going to be exactly the same as what that profile says they are. And I think that's what for me, like the human first element is about, digging into that. Who are these people? Like, not just they're not all the same. And
I think Human First is about going, well, we're not ever going to look at data ever again.
Yeah.
Because data provides loads of information and it still be used, but it's like an extra layer on top of it, which gives us even more information. I think that's like probably the best way to think about it, rather than just say we don't use data, it's just human.
Yeah.
It's like you say, data can provide you generalizations. Does this something digs into it a bit more?
But is it too generalised? Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
You know, even things like, should we be like tailoring our creative to like individual people, not like in everyone?
Yeah.
Obviously that would be possible.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, rather than just saying, you know, oh, we're going to have one form of creative for this whole audience, let's think about potentially older people, or you know, people that may have different needs, something like that.
Yeah. At the very least, it's an additional thought exercise, isn't it? Of thinking in more detail about like those creatives, and thinking, well, I've got this audience, this population, but trying to think about them as people, because I think that will make you create better creatives, create better ads. It's just more detail.
Yeah.